friends, if you are watching this video, you have purchased one of my toning kits, and I'm going to walk you through how to mix, how to apply, how to section, how to prepare yourself for this toning process. So first I want to get started with the fact that I'm wearing a button-up shirt. I'm sure that you got a cape, you got a disposable cape, but I'm wearing a button-up shirt, so once I do take off the cape, then I can just unbutton it and hop in the shower once I rinse it off. So we'll get started with that. Wear something that, and this is an old shirt too, I don't really care if I got any color on it. And what's also good to have is a towel. So I do not have a disposable cape, so I'm just gonna be putting this towel on, and I'm gonna tuck this right into my shirt. We're gonna get really close and personal today. There we go. Make sure that it's nice and tucked in. You don't really want it falling out because there's nothing worse than a towel falling down and then you're getting color all over the place. So just to assess my hair, I do have a lot of blonde. I do have a lot of regrowth underneath. You can see all the depth that I have. This is all my natural, and then you can see where the blonde is. So we're gonna just focus on those lightened areas, and we're gonna focus on the front first. So make sure your hair is nice and well brushed. And that's what I'm doing, I'm brushing my hair. And we're gonna focus more so on the top, and then we'll get into the bottom as well. So I'm gonna just section off, so ear to ear, or top of your head to your ear, that's section 1. And here's section 2. Just brush that back. It doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be a perfect part, but as long as you have, one area over here. You really want 4 quadrants. That's what these are called. They're called quadrants, 4 sections. If you have clips, great. Mine are at the salon, so we're just gonna be doing this eyeball. So if I bring up half of my head here, you can see that I have a lot of natural growth. So I'm not really gonna worry about this right now. I'm gonna focus on the top where I have a lot of blonde there. So I'm just gonna twirl that. So now I'm sectioned off, so now I'm gonna get ready to mix. So the first step into mixing is applying your gloves, because we don't wanna get our hands dirty while we're doing this. Put the gloves on. Okay, so we have our gloves on, we have our bowl, we have our brush. And then I would recommend grabbing a measuring cup. If you have a kitchen scale, amazing. If you have a kitchen scale, zero out the bowl, and what we're gonna do is we have a ratio of 1 to 2, which means 1 color to 2 developer, and the developer that you have should say 3.5. That is the toning developer. We are working with a demi-permanent, so that's why it's a demi-permanent, because we have an activator and we have the actual color. So to get into it, depending on how long your hair is, if you have maybe hair shoulder length and it's fine, maybe do 1/2 ounce color to 1.5 ounce developer. Now, since my hair is a little longer, and we're working with ounces too, so I'm gonna use this old thing that has ounces. If you don't have something that says ounces, a 1/4 ounce cup in your measuring cup equals 2 ounces. So we'll work with that. If you have any questions, you can always let me know. So first things first, we're gonna open up. I'm using my own personal one. So we're gonna pretend like this is a brand new tube. So we take it out of the box, and then we want to pierce it open. And so I squeezed it out. And I just basically covered the bottom. Because this only has up to 2 ounces, I'm gonna assume that that's 1 ounce. Put the cap back on. So now I'm gonna pour in 2 ounces of developer. Now it's best to do it on the surface rather than in the air like I did. So that made it to 2 ounces of color. I broke the top of mine, don't worry about that. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna take the end of my tint brush and I'm gonna mix it. The reason why we don't want to use the tip of the brush is because we don't want it to get messy, and we want it to be well mixed, not get a bunch of developer all over the place and not enough color. So we want a good mixing ratio. If you have a whisk or a spatula that you don't really care about, if you use any of your kitchen products, just be sure that you well sanitize afterwards. So it should be this nice milky consistency, creamy consistency. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna pour this stuff to the bowl. Now my toner is a white color. Yours could be like a tan. Yours could be kind of like pinkish. It's an oxidative color, so I wouldn't worry about, or what I mean by oxidative color is that the color changes with oxygen. So you might get your bowl might be a different color by the end of it all, as well as on your head. All right, so we're gonna say that's well mixed. And since I don't care about this towel, I'm just gonna wipe the end of it because I want to be nice and cleanly as I can. All right, so to start applying, I'm gonna work from the bottom to the top. That's gonna be the easiest way. And we want about that much, and we need about that much on the end of your brush. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take about a 1/2 inch section. You can see that's about a 1/2 inch width section, and I'm gonna work towards the middle first. And we're gonna get it nice and coated. I even try to use my brush as a comb, and I'm only going up to the lightest part. Your ends are gonna be the most porous, which means they're gonna suck up the most color. So it's good to start in the middle section and then work your way up and then work your way down, because this is gonna hold on to a lot of color down here. And then I just kind of paint it, I just kind of graze it, but we don't wanna wipe off too much. Okay, so next I'm gonna only pick up the blonde part. I'm gonna do another section, another 1/2 inch section there. And then again, I just kind of dip my brush, and then we're just gonna go up and we're gonna go down, and then you can lightly put those together. So that's how that section goes. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna do one more section. So you can see, so as I'm dipping, I just place it in. I place it in, and that's how much color I need, probably a little bit less. There we go. That's about how much color I need for this next section. So I'm gonna start from the middle, work my way up. And it's okay if you get some on the on your natural color. It's not gonna do anything. It's not gonna, the activator is low enough because there's a peroxide in it, right? A peroxide is what lifts, but it's a low enough peroxide where it's not gonna affect our natural regrowth. So again, 1/2 inch. And I started on this side just because I know it would be easy to go through. If you would like to start on your heavier side, because that's gonna be more to work with and it's gonna take the longest to process, I would probably start there. Okay, so section 1 done. All right, section 2. So say you lift this up and you don't have a lot of blonde down here, don't even worry about that. Like say, pretend like this is not blonde, this is all my natural color, just like throw that out of the way and then just work with what's really blonde. But since this is blonde, I'm going to cover it. Now it might be easier to work from the back forward. That seems to be a little bit easier for me to part. However, which way that you feel the most comfortable. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be well saturated. That's the key. Well saturated. Okay, so section 2 done. I'm just gonna make sure that I get all those little blonde pieces, especially in the front area. Just kind of fold that back. All right, and if you have a comb or like a nylon bristle brush that you don't care about, that you're willing to wash, I wouldn't recommend like a boar brush or like a natural hair bristle, but so something that's acrylic or nylon. You can use that to just comb everything through, because it might look something like this. You want to comb it through to make sure that all those little hairs get fully coated and fully saturated. And yeah, so we have that. So it shouldn't look too milky. And as you can see, this probably looks a little bit different than when I started because it is oxidizing now. So the next step that we're gonna do is the back. So I'm just gonna work, start right here. I'm just gonna work this way and I'm gonna part it into 2. So we'll start one here and then we'll start one over there. And again, which side you works on, it doesn't really matter. Maybe starting in your heavier side is probably the best. And if you need, like see how I'm picking that up and it looks a little funky right there? If you need to brush that out, take your brush that you don't care about, that has color on it, and just smooth that out, just so all the hairs get caught up. And again, we want to start, work our way up. Guys, I am making a mess down here, so make sure that you have another towel down that you don't care about. And so how I'm doing my section, I'm just looking at this. If you have somebody that can help you out, amazing. But I don't, so, and I want to make sure that the top is fully covered. So I'm just feeling it. I'm taking my comb and I am parting just along the scalp, like you're taking the tip of the brush and you're laying it flat to your scalp. That's how I'm parting it. And I'm just laying this forward. If you had a clip, if I had a clip, I would just clip it out of the way, so then it would be out of my way. And so let's see, there's another little blonde spot right there. So I'm getting more close to the fact that I have a lot of regrowth back here. gonna leave that there, and I'll tell you what I'm gonna do with this in a minute. So but first I'm gonna start again. I am filling this out. Taking that chunk of that, it's too big of a chunk. Taking that chunk. Okay, so as you can see, let's see, let's add this guy in there. Okay, so as you can see, I have a lot of regrowth here, and I have a lot of regrowth here, and I haven't touched it. Let's just scrape the bowl to get all that little color. See all that little color that I have right there? Don't dip it too much. We're gonna coat, this is how we coat the rest of it. So I only have it really on the bottom, maybe some up there. Want that nice and coated. Okay, that's nice and coated. So to make sure that it is perfectly coated, we're just gonna brush it and comb it through. So just, excuse me, it should look wet. It should look wet. Now, we're nice and saturated. So if you feel like you're missing any parts, what I would do is hit the hairline again, just a little bit, just take a little bit, that color. Make sure that your hairline and all these ones up top are fully saturated, because we don't want to have any light spots up top, right? We'd rather have our ends be lighter. Maybe if you had some right there. And then we're gonna hit those ends again. So I'm just laying it down, laying it down. We don't want to wipe it off. We want to press it and lay it down. And that goes for the whole head. Lay it down. All right, so we're fully saturated. We've used all of our color. I would say use everything and just keep applying it, even if it's in the middle too, if you have any excess. And so our timer is 15 to 20 minutes. 20 minutes of processing time. Do your dishes. Just make sure you don't sit on the couch or lay on your bed and forget about the fact that you're gonna get color all over the place, because it's just gonna be a mess once you try and clean it up. So hop in the shower after 15 minutes. Make sure that you don't get any in your face, because it's gonna burn your eyes. So, and it's probably not gonna feel good. It's probably not gonna smell good or taste good. Yeah, so I appreciate you for watching this video. Thank you for purchasing one of my kits. And if you have any questions, please let me know. I miss you all so, so much. I'm gonna take this off and turn you off. I love you, and I will see you soon.